Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all. Mr. Ali here with his community Wellbeing show, and it's okay. So, with his community Wellbeing show coming to you from the studios of Radio Aapki Awaz every Tuesday evening. I hope you well, and like me, you are wrapped up warm. Tell me what's going on. Today we're going to have a general news up because we were supposed to have Brother Abid from I Travel Clinic come to talk about what the latest and the fluid situation is for those that are traveling abroad with regards to the PCR test as well. But unfortunately, for one reason or another, he's not able to make it. But nonetheless, we will be getting back into the studios once more. But in terms of the latest COVID figures, they are stable at the moment. However, a number of countries where there are low vaccine numbers, what they have done is they have now made it mandatory. They have made it mandatory for the COVID vaccine as well, certainly in some of the countries in Europe as well, Poland being one. So that is something that we have been assured from the UK government that they have no intention of doing that here in this country, simply because we have had a very successful rollout of the vaccine program and there's no need for it. However, we do have a couple of areas where we still need to focus. On average, there is still a 20% lower uptake within the Black, Asian and the minority ethnic community, and we need to continue all our efforts to meet up that gap. The other community that we have seen a significant low uptake is amongst women who are childbearing age and those that are also pregnant or trying for a child as well. They have also been scared by some of the fake news and the fake story that has been circulated amongst the social media, or the fact that the government and the Public Health England could do a lot more better to reach out to these cohort of communities. As always, lovely tea. On these sort of days, on these sort of evenings, hot desi karak chai really goes down a treat. And I was also saying, amongst the young people as well, that is the other third community that we are seeing now, a lower uptake compared to the national average as well. So if you are someone from the BAME community, if you are someone who is childbearing age or trying or pregnant, or if you are under 30, then please, I do recommend that you do your research, talk to your GP at the first instance, and get yourself double vaccinated as well. You know, some countries do not consider anyone to be fully vaccinated until they've had a third or a fourth vaccine. Here we have also the booster vaccine, so anyone that is over 50, vulnerable, care worker, anything like that, then they are eligible for a booster vaccine as well. And like the flu vaccine as well, the COVID-19 vaccine has an immunity on average of about 6 months. Okay, so for example, you know, people are saying, well, these vaccines should give us lifelong protection. That, you know, these sort of vaccines never give you lifelong protection, whether it is, you know, the Hep B vaccines, whether it's the flu vaccines, you got to have those regularly as well. And same with these COVID vaccines as well. So please, if you are eligible, get yourself the booster vaccine as well. So in terms of where we are, we have 3,046 positive cases here within Birmingham compared to 3,261. So just over 200 and mashallah, Abdul Qayyum, walaikum salam, all the way from United States of America. God bless America. And Brother Ishfaq, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, Janab, for your encouragement and for your greetings as well. So I'll say we are seeing a downward trend within Birmingham, and there was a real concern by Boris Johnson and his cabinet that they were going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we have a Christmas this year, and that there's nothing was going to jeopardize Christmas. So as a result, the vaccine program has been rolled out even further, and everyone is now being encouraged to have a COVID passport. So if you are traveling abroad, then the COVID passport is absolutely essential, and you need to be double vaccinated to either travel inwards or outwards. Okay, so those people that may be traveling from Pakistan, previously the Chinese vaccine wasn't recognized, but now it is as well. So those people that are coming now, they don't need to be isolating at home. So in terms of the areas that have the highest numbers, Northfield had 474 per 100,000 population, and Rubery, which has 417, and the other high areas are Sutton Coldfield. And I did ask the Public Health England team as to why it may be that we are seeing huge numbers for the last, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks in Ash Zaman. Oh, alaikum salam. Ash, how are you, my brother? Hope you keep you warm, hope you keep you well. Nice to see you as well. And you may be asking as to why for the last 2 months we are seeing increase in COVID cases in Sutton Coldfield. And the reason that I was given was simply because in the first wave, the community of Sutton Coldfield was immune from it. They stayed at home, they weren't mixing, they were quite adherent to the social distancing and the self-isolating rules. However, now that when the government relaxed the rules, it is that community, which is an elderly, which is a frail community, that has now been really decimated and severely affected by the COVID, and hence why. And also, but what we aren't seeing is the number of deaths in Sutton Coldfield, because that elderly community were the first to be eligible to be vaccinated as well. So that is why they are safe as well. So please do so. Get yourself vaccinated. I can't urge that enough. We had a beautiful sister here in Ward End who just gave birth to a beautiful daughter, her fifth actually. And because she was pregnant, she was scared to take the vaccine, and she was going to do it after giving birth, but unfortunately, thank you, Brother Ash. I hope you're okay as well. Absolutely, it's our duty. I know you're a public figure as well, and it is important. And my condolences, Brother Ash. I know you've, as a family, have really suffered by the number of recent deaths. Some are COVID, some are not. And it just shows that, as a community, we cannot take our eye off the ball. This is such a deadly disease. People, especially now with the weather going cold, and also with the flu as well, that anyone that is severely vulnerable or anything like that, as soon as they get COVID, they will be rushing into hospital. And what we are seeing is 75% of all people that are going into ICU in hospitals are the ones that are not vaccinated. So let me repeat that. 75% of all patients that are in ICU because of COVID have not had their vaccine. And the whole purpose of the vaccine is that doesn't mean that you won't get it, but what it means is that you won't get the severe symptoms of COVID, which means that you have to be then admitted to hospital, and that is what we want. So for example, if my mom was alive and they were, for example, 83, 84, the last thing I know I would want for them is to be getting COVID, because the chance of them surviving from this deadly disease, deadly virus, is very small. Even though now they've been vaccinated, we still have to take some precaution as well. So that's the main thing that we have to bear in mind. The other thing I just also wanted to mentioned was the cancellation of the HS2 by the current UK government between Manchester and Leeds, and this government is all about talking about levelling up, but that was a really important piece of infrastructure work that needed to be done, and because of lack of finance as well, and it's taking too long. And unfortunately that's been cancelled now. So I think that's something that we need to sort of keep on doing. And, especially now where we had COP26. And for those of you that are listening, next week I have Brother Kamran Shahzad, who is part of the Bahu Trust, the Hazrat Sultan Bahu Trust, who are one of the official affiliates of COP26. They are signed signatories, who is going to come and talk about what we are going to, what was COP26, what is the big agenda, and how we can get that down to even less as well. So absolutely. And the other thing that I want to also mention, and I'm sure Brother Ashfaq, Brother Ash, and all the hundreds and thousands of people are listening, is yesterday for my Juniors Academy of Birmingham Sport, we had Al Akhirah funeral services delivering an amazing, quick, short, an hour workshop on how do we bury our deceased and make sure that they are given the full Sharia Muslim burial. And this is something that we have to teach all our youngsters. And I want to say youngsters as well, and I'm sure you would agree, a lot of people that are in their 20s and 30s and even their 40s do not know how to shroud a deceased, how to give a proper ghusl to the deceased, what needs to be read when you are burying and lowering the body onto the ground as well. These are basic fundamentals that the immediate family, the brothers, the sons, the uncles, whoever it may be, it's their duty to, and it's their obligation to do that. Not some funeral director, not some, fourth or fifth, next of kin coming in. This is their obligation, and often it is because they don't know what they are doing that they are leaving it to strangers. So yesterday we had about 17, 18 people in that office, where we had Al Akhirah who were working to make that possible. And next time round we will be going to the funeral services and actually performing a ghusl on a live dummy, and they could practice as well to how to do it. So, when this is all, kullun nafsin za'iqatul maut, this is something that we will all experience. Not only obviously for ourselves, we all going to be going 6 foot under. If we are lucky enough, we will have a Muslim burial with the full everything. That's if we're lucky enough. We don't know how we're going to die. So don't, thank you, lucky star, that you are going to have the full, big janazah at a mosque or anything like that. The Almighty knows, and He knows best. So, we should all pray for a proper Muslim burial with a janazah and everything as well. And next time round, we will be doing that in the funeral service, and the young people can practice as well. So look out for that. And what I will urge every mosque, especially some of the inner city areas in Birmingham, people like Lozals, Gamgor Sharif, Ziyal Quran, Hurunia Masjid, and wherever it may be, to deliver maybe a full afternoon or a series of workshops. Sometimes anything more than an hour, people can lose attention and focus. But if it's an hour over a couple of weeks' time, it may be more easy to digest in terms of what we need to. These are the practical things that we need to do. I know Brother Hans Mahmood is also a big advocate of this, and maybe we can pick this up and hopefully we will make that happen, possibly now in the new year as well. So watch this space. Absolutely, community needs needs voice like yourself to lead us on the right track. Absolutely, Brother Ash. We all have a role to play, and I'm fortunate enough to have this, a public platform that I'm able to use it every week. And for me, this is a great opportunity. If I don't do it, then unfortunately, I'm not doing my job. So that's why every week I try to have something that is possible. And Brother Ash, Ayub, walaikum salam, Brother Ayub, Ashfaq, and also also, in a couple of weeks' time, I'm also going to have an immigration lawyer. Hopefully, it'll be Famida or Brother Azam from Kurt Lawrence to talk about the new immigration bill that has been passed, whereby, look, for example, now I still have a red passport. I am born and bred and raised in this country. However, my parents are from Pakistan or the Azad Kashmir, and for example, if I, perpetuate or perpetrate certain crimes, then as part of that sentence, the judge or the Home Office can deem that I am no longer fit to reside in this country, and as part of that punishment, after I serve my sentence, they can withdraw my citizenship and my passport and then deport me. It doesn't matter how long I've been here, or how many children I have, or how many properties I have. That doesn't matter. All that will be wiped out as well. And same thing with the asylum seekers, with those people who are seeking immigration. All these now have been absolutely reduced now. So new immigration has been built, and I don't think, even though there is some concern, I don't think the community at large knows what the impact of this new immigration means for the diaspora community that have settled here, whether it is from the Afro-Caribbean, whether it is from the Middle East that have recently settled, or whether it is from the Indian subcontinent. This affects us all, and I shall certainly be touching on this very important subject in the next few weeks as well. So please do look out for that. But next week it is Kamran Shazad talking about COP, and hopefully the week after we will have Kurt Lawrence partner Azam, and then possibly even Famida as well, who will be coming in and help me to sort of talk about this topic as well. So if there's anything else that you would like me to touch on, then please do let me know, and I will do my best to sort of touch on that and make sure that the wider community gets to know about it. The other thing I also want to touch on is also the racism in sport as well. We have seen over the last month with Azim Rafiq really coming to the fore and talking about his horrible experience as a established player for Yorkshire Cricket Club, but also for the ECB as an England player as well, how the P word was being branded around like, everyday conversation, and it was deemed as banter. It was deemed as banter, and these sort of things are never banter. And I think now, not only do we have to stand up against it, but anyone that witnesses that, like for example, one thing he did say was Joe Root, who's a good man and the captain of the England team, he didn't use it, but he was there, he was in the environment, and it was just deemed acceptable. Now, not only do we all have have to stand up to it and object to any form of racism, but those I think that are of the same community, it is much easier for them to stand up. And the other thing is, before I leave, because today is a very short show, I have Gandhi Foster here, who's going to be playing music in about a couple of minutes' time, is Mr. Ash Zaman. You have taken our knight in shining armour, our crown in the jewels, Mr. Stevie Gerrard, onto you. So he will do immensely well for the Villa. I can see Villa certainly being, I think, top 8. I don't think that's unreasonable. Let me know, Ash, what you think about, I don't know whether you went on the weekend and saw the game. Villa certainly, I think it won 2-0, and apparently by all means it was a tight affair, but certainly the last 15-20 minutes they managed to take control and they scored some good goals in the end. And so I'm expecting good things about Villa. And you never know, maybe in a few years' time when good old Jurgen Klopp retires, hopefully you'll allow us to bring Gerrard back home as well. Yeah, we're bringing him back home, Ash, with your permission and with your blessing as well. So do let me know about how Stevie Gerrard is. And all in all, I'm really enjoying hold on, I know you are. And yeah, I think so as well. I'm even saying, Ash, possibly even top 8 as well, depending on how they do. Really good hopes for Villa as well. I think it was the right appointment as well. And it just goes to show, Ash, I don't want to talk too much about football, but when you don't have the right manager, for example, we had Ollie, got a Solskjaer doing a good job, getting them stable, but to go make it that final next step, winning the trophy, it takes a certain pedigree, it takes a man to look as well, and I think he just came up short. So we'll see what happens over the next a few weeks over with Man United. But I just want to sort of finish off by just saying that, certainly I'm enjoying this season. Chelsea doing extremely well. You got Man City and Liverpool at the moment, and also Conte sort of settling well. But I think it will be between those three, and but then everyone else will be fighting for the European places as well. And Arsenal are doing reasonably okay until this week, who were just completely decimated as well. So, like I said, it's a really up and down sort of season so far. But until next week, I hope you're well. Inshallah, Ash Zaman will catch up for a coffee over the next few weeks, or maybe a hot chocolate. Hope you're all well. And then next week, please do try sort of tune in, because I really want to get this green agenda within the Asian community, within the Islamic faith as well, and really propagate how our beloved Prophet was all about conserving the environment and wouldn't chop down any trees or any bushes unless you really had to as well. Same with animals as well. They would only kill the animal for food, for their fur, for real purposes, not just for fun as well. So I think we need to sort of implement that in our daily lives as well. I think there's too much wasted. There's too much, too much unimportance given to the environment, and I think we need to be at the forefront and bearers of the environment. So until next week, please look after yourselves and each other. Keep me in your prayers, and I'll do the same for you as well. Allah Hafiz, God bless you. Take care. As well, and please continue to look after your neighbours as well, especially if they're elderly or frail or vulnerable. It is cold. Just check in them. Just make sure they're okay, whether it's by phone or just by knocking on their door as well. Okay, guys. God bless. See you next week.
What, Ali, how you doing, man?
Hello, Gandhi. How are you? Okay, boss?
Oh, good, man.